For somebody who supposedly doesn't care about winning, they've now mentioned Shagan winning that £10,000 quite a few times. Big Brother UK episode 34, and Ali's been having nightmares. She said to Nathan that she thinks it's because the things that make her feel better are so close. And listen, I don't know how some of the people last in that house, because if I know that I'm not going to see my partner for literally a couple of days, you would think the world was over. I've only ever been like this with this one person. Anybody else, I could not see them for weeks and it'd be fine. But when they're in there, a day seems like a week sometimes. So, oh my God, it's so emotional to just not see or hear from the person that you speak to every single day. This is why if I was in that house, I'd be like, don't send me voicemails, don't send me letters, like don't make videos or anything for me, because once I see that person, it'll be game over for me. I'd need to leave. Emma and Nathan were in the diary room having a carry on, and they were talking about their friendship. And even though Big Brother UK is one of my least favourites, I feel like Big Brother USA and Canada is just like a lot about the game, and you don't get to see their relationships within the house. And I wish that we would get to see more of this kind of thing as well. The phone rang and Hannah picked it up. Big Brother told her to pick somebody to take into the diary room, and she chose Marcello. When they went in, they found out that they had a certain amount of coins to split between the housemates. Some would get a full message and some would get half a message. So because she picked Marcello, they both instantly got their full message. Hannah chose to give Shagan and Emma their full messages and Nathan half a message and Ali nothing. And in a way, I kind of thought that was fair because she's already had a message before. But surprisingly, Marcello was like, no, I think she deserves something. It's been a long time since then, and she deserves to at least have something. So good for him for sticking up for her. Personally, I kind of don't know what I would have done, because it is like, well, you've had a full message. But at the same time, Nathan, I don't really think was bothered about getting a message anyway, and everybody knew that Shagan would have been willing to give up half his message, so giving her half a message was the right thing to do. Now, maybe she was just being emotional at the prospect of getting some sort of message, but Ali looked fucking raging when they were saying some people could get half a message, some people could get nothing. And Marcello was honest with her, and he says, look, we weren't going to give you anything because you've already had a message, but we decided to give you half. And she just looked like as if she was going to fucking punch somebody in the face. But maybe she was literally just emotional and she was like, oh, like I'm going to get a message here. I don't know. So they were all getting their messages, and I says to my friend, 100% Nathan is going to get his message and subtitles are going to come up, because people just can't wrap their brain around a Scottish accent or a Welsh accent or an Irish accent. But when it's any English accent, no matter how difficult it is to understand, you never see them putting subtitles up. Interesting. Usually when housemates get their letters from home, I'm a complete mess and I'm crying for everybody. But last night, the voice messages just weren't doing it for me. I don't know, I kind of felt like Emma was obviously really emotional and her message was really lovely, but it was as if the person had like wrote a letter and then they were reading it out themselves, and I know that they didn't want to leave out any details of how they were feeling or how proud they were or anything, but I don't know, I just kind of prefer the letters. But personally, you probably would prefer to hear from the person because you get to hear their voice and stuff, so I don't know, it wasn't getting my emotions last night. Hannah got a message from one of her friends, and at the end of the message, they says, look out for Shagan, he's like flipping both sides of the coin. And she was shocked. Shagan was acting shocked. Was he really shocked? Surely I must remember that whole conversation with Khaled. But, I mean, the other day people were saying that Ali wouldn't be able to remember the conversation about Emma the night before. So if she's allowed to not remember that, then Shagan's allowed to not remember that, because that did happen a couple of episodes ago. Hannah was confused about the message regarding Shagan. She was in the garden and Ali was saying that both these have been flirting with each other since the start, and I think he's trying to make it look as if it's all been new. And she was 100% correct, of course. Now, I know a lot of people out there will say, oh, Ali's right about everything. Mystic Ali. I haven't agreed with every single thing that she said. I did agree with what she said at the start of the episode about women who expect men to have a certain amount of money or have a certain job while they bring like the bare minimum to the table. I can't stand women like that, but she was right on both of these occasions. Another thing was, she wasn't out in the garden being like, oh my god, Shagan's such a dick, he's making you look like the flit. You know what I mean? Like, she was actually saying, oh, it's not that deep. But I think that this is what's been happening. It wasn't as if she was totally bad-mouthing him. Shagan was in the bedroom speaking to Marcello, and he says he hasn't said anything bad about Hannah. Now, technically, he hasn't said anything bad, but if I was Hannah, I would be raging, because he was the one who says to Khaled, oh, she's always touching me, hugging me, putting her legs on me, and it's always her, and he's putting the blame on her. And we've seen time and time again that that's not the case, and it really wasn't a nice thing to say. Hannah was speaking to Shagan in the bedroom, and he was saying that he doesn't know how to act, and she says, I trust my girls, but you don't have to act any different, like, let's just be the same with each other. And he was saying, I'm obviously going to be a bit down today, but, like, you know, I'll go back to just acting like normal. Well, he comes out of the bedroom with his Bible, and the way, like, he walked out of there with his head down, walking in slow motion, it was like when a child gets in trouble and they're wanting you to know that they're sad, so they're like, walking about with their sad face, and you're literally just like, what the fuck's going on? It was so bad to watch. The way he walked up the stairs, they were laughing at him, and I was like, oh my fucking god, he's making it worse. He's actually making it worse. And I seen a clip of it this morning on TikTok, and somebody says, why are they laughing at him for going to read his Bible? Like, Hannah should understand. And I thought, did you not watch the episode? It's got nothing to do with him reading his Bible. It's the way that he went up there like, oh, I am so sad. Oh, I'm so sorry for my actions. Do you know what I mean? It was like that. Oh my god, man. He should have just went out and just acted like normal, but it was just fucking horrific. Last night on Late and Live, it showed you a clip of Hannah, Marcello and Ali speaking to Shagan, and it was kind of giving bullying vibes, to be honest. It was just the smallest clip, but everybody knows that Shagan is so sensitive and he doesn't really have a laugh when it comes to things based on his morals. So Hannah was laughing and she says to Ali, oh, you says he's coasted through his experience. He's sitting on the couch obviously feeling uncomfortable, and he was like, oh, what does that even mean though? And Marcello says, oh, he's acting as if it doesn't bother him. And Hannah was like, oh, it does bother him. Literally, right, like, just being bitchy. And I know that her feelings are hurt, and I know that they're probably just having a laugh, but he was sitting there just obviously feeling so awkward, and I was like, I don't really think there's a need for this. But then, interestingly, Ali says to him, oh, is that all the weight in your pockets with all the money? And I was like, very interesting. When she was in the vote with Shagan, she said, don't feel bad about winning the money, and gave him a hug. And I thought, oh, that's nice that she's telling him not to feel bad, because he might feel a wee bit guilty. She then brought it up to him again when she was asking for a real reason why he nominated her. And then she just randomly brought up the money, and she's like, I mean, don't feel bad for winning the money. Then she spoke to Nathan about it, and she says, oh, about Segs winning the money. I mean, not that he should feel bad. And it was like, right, okay, we get it, he's not to feel bad. Now, keep in mind that this is the only times that we've seen, but she did mention him winning the money again, and how, like, he shouldn't feel bad about it. But then last night, when they were coming across as bullying him, and it was only a short clip, and they probably were just having a laugh, and he just felt uncomfortable. But she just randomly says, oh, is that all the weight in your pockets with the money? And everybody's in there pretty much saying, oh, I'm not here for the money, I'm not here to win. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with being in that house and saying, oh, I hope I win. I really want to win the money, I'd love to go travelling, I'd love to put money towards a house or like whatever else. It doesn't matter. But when you're making out as if, oh, it's not even about that, but then you've now brought up somebody else winning £10,000 out the prize fund a minimum of 5 times, that's really quite telling. Maybe other housemates have done it, and she's the only one that they've showed doing it, but it's a bit suspicious. I mean, if that was me, I would be lucky to get past day 2, but if I made it into the final week, I'd be like that, oh my god, like, I could actually win this money. This is crazy. Like, I wouldn't be embarrassed about it. Let me know what you thought of last night's show, and I'll see you again tonight. Bye!